Walls form the core of every architectural project, yet modeling them in Revit can be challenging. This time, I'm sharing 3 advanced techniques designed to simplify wall modeling and dramatically refine your workflow. Let's start with number 1, which is retaining wall, or as we call it in Revit, tapered wall. Simply, a retaining wall is designed to hold in place a mass of soil, and we are going to learn how to model it with details in Revit. So I'm going to create a wall in architecture section. You can create a wall in structure too, but I'm going to go with this architecture. I'm going to create it exactly from this part to here, and then we are going to look at it in this 3D view. Move it to the center, and I'm going to put it on just simply 4 meters like this. Next, we need to go to edit type section, and in this structure part, we need to turn it into a variable so we can turn this cross section into tapered, because right now if I click on this section, you will see that it asks us to create a variable thickness in one of the layers. It doesn't matter which layer, you just need to have a variable layer. So we need to go to this section first and check this variable on this structure layer or on any other layer that we have. Also, I'm going to change its material to a brick material like this one. Click on OK, and also change its thickness to like 50 centimeter. Click on OK and OK. Now, if we go to this cross section, we can simply turn this into a tapered wall, and then we can enable this angle override and change the angles on the interior or on the exterior side, okay, in which part that we need. I'm going to select it and add some angles to the interior section, for example like 10 degrees, so we can see it much better. This is how it looks in this section. I will also create a section for that to see it much better, because I'm going to add some other sections to this part. Turn this into fine and consistent color like this. Let's go back to hidden line, and also I will turn this crop region off so we can see everything in this section. Okay, I also want to create a foundation for this wall, so I'm going to go to this first level. In a structure tab, in this section we have this foundation, wall foundation, and I will just simply click on this section. It is created, but we cannot see it. If we go to 3D view, we can see that it is in this part, and to fix its size, I'm going to just simply select it, and in edit type, first duplicate it. If you want to keep this size, keep this default like family, and then in here we can simply change it. For its width, let's go with 2 meter, and for the foundation thickness, I'm going to go with 50 centimeter. Let's just apply to see how it looks. This is okay. I'm going to go with 3 meters. Apply. Of course, all of these should have detail, and we need to model it based on details. But in this part, I'm going to just show you how it looks, so you can do it whenever you need it. Okay, and that's why I'm going to just simply add some numbers in this section. Okay, this is how it looks from this section. I also want to add a ground, like a site in this part, so we can see how it looks too. We can go to this first level, and in here I'm going to go to massing and site section, topo solid, and in here I will just create and sketch something in this part. Let's go with something like this. I think it should be a little bigger, like this one, and hit finish. Go to modify sub elements, and in here I'm going to put this on 4, this part on 4 meter, or maybe more than this. Let's go with 5, this part 4.5. In here I'm going to go with 4, and in this part 4.2. In here let's go with 3. In this part I will go with just simply 2, and in here I'm going to go with -1. Okay, if you want, you can add like points in the center too in these sections. I will also add some values to these parts too. in here I will go with 4.5, and in this part I'm going to go with just simply 2, and in here let's go with 2. Okay, so if we go to 3D view, we can see it in this section like this. Okay, if we go to this section, we can see it in this part too. Before I change anything, I want to like excavate in this section, and we can go to this first level, and in here we are going to, let me select this one. I'm going to extend this wall to here. I hope the foundation is going with it too. Let me select these details, hide them in the category. And in this part, I will go to architecture. This is the new way that we need to like create excavation on any site or top of solid. We need to first create the floor and then use it for excavation. So I'm going to create something in this section, hit finish, and if we go to 3D view, we should see it in this part. So I'm going to go to the site setting. In this part we can see this excavate, and then we can just simply select our floor, which is exactly in this part. You need to put this on wireframe and then select it, and if I turn this back into hidden line, we can see it in this section. Okay, if we go to this section, we can see it exactly in this part. This is how it looks. If you want, you can also join these two sections together, so all of them works together. This is the thick line of our earth, and this is the wall, a retaining wall or tapered wall that we just created. If it is a structural wall, I mean, of course it is a structural wall, but in here it is architecture. So if you check this section, structure, you can just simply add rebars to this part, or area reinforcement, these things, to this section or to this foundation, and turn it into a super detailed structure that you can use on your projects. Okay, the next thing that I want to share with you is about adding railing on top of any surface, like for example this retaining wall, for adding more safety. Okay, for this we're going to go to this 3D view, and then in the architecture tab we have this railing in this part. I will select this sketch path, and then first thing we need to do in this part is to set the host. Without this we cannot create our railing on top of this wall. Okay, first I will click on this pick new host, then I'm going to select my wall. As you can see, I have added a few other walls and their foundation in this part too. So if we want to add more railing, we need to repeat it on each one of these walls. After that, with this pick line, we are going to select one of these edges. With tab, you can switch between them until you find the edge that you want, and then you just simply need to click on it, and you have created your path on the ground. It's okay, it will create a railing on top of this section. Okay, then we are going to hit finish, and our railing is exactly in this part. If you want, you can change its type to any of these railings, or you can just simply create it yourself. If you want to know how, you can watch this video in the top right corner. And after this, you can just simply change its placement on this wall. For example, with this offset from pass, we can move it to minus 30 centimeter to the center. If we go to the section view, we can see it is exactly in this part, and you can change everything related to it in here. Perfect. Now for the last tip, we need to go to this first level, and in here I'm going to create a few simple walls from first level to the second level with this rectangle exactly in the center. Okay, and right now, as you can see, we have these white spaces for our wall. Even if we turn this into fine and consistent color, we cannot see that like black sections for the walls. To create black sections, because this is the normal way that we present our wall, to do that, first we need to simply turn this into course. Okay, this is the must-do section if you want to have simple black sections for your walls. Then you need to select one of those walls and go to edit type. And it doesn't matter what type of wall it is, you can just simply change them. You have this graphic section in this part, and you need to change this coarse scale fill pattern. It is colored black, but you also need to set a pattern for that, which is simply this solid fill. Click on OK and OK again. If it is not working again, you need to do another step. I changed this section intentionally to show you like all of these sections that you need to consider if you want to get what you want. In this case, the reason that we cannot see those black fill patterns is because of the view range. I have changed this to 5 and cut plane to 4.5. Usually it is set on 2.3. Top section is set on 2.3 and cut plane is on 1.2. As you saw, as we usually create walls between first level and second level, and we know that the space between them, the distance between them is 4 meter. So now the cut plane is above that level. It is set on 4.5, which is above all of these walls. So this is why we cannot see that black section. Okay, if you want to see it, you need to be sure that you set this section under or in between the distance between the first level and the second level. Now, if I move this to like 4.9 and click on apply, you can see all of these black sections in this part, and all of them, like all of the other walls that you create with this type, will have the same black pattern. If you create a wall with another pattern, for example, let's go with this one from here to this section, it might not have the same color because its type, its family is not filled with that fill pattern. So if you turn this into solid fill too, click on OK, you can see that black section on this wall too. Okay, so these are things that you need to consider for creating a simple but perfect, flawless pattern for your project. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you have any recommendation for our next video, you can share it down below in the comment section. I will see you next time.